Okay, so welcome all to the first info day and the first matchmaking of Galactica project. As just some housekeeping rules, we will use the chat for asking the question, so feel free to add any question on the chat at any time. We will address it in the Q&A section. This session is recorded and will be available in the project website later on. With that said, I would like to start quickly with a brief introduction of Galactica, and then we will move forward on the details of the first call for proposals and some success stories from the hackathon and the Q&A section. So without further delay, I would like to start with introducing Galactica project, which is an H2020 funded project which has cascade funding, and it's aiming to support the textile, aerospace, and advanced manufacturing sectors in Europe to innovate and to growth for the future. So first of all, let me start with a little bit of background on what is Galactica. Galactica started as a starting point is that we have three sectors which are not that much interlinked, like the textile sector, the advanced manufacturing, and the space sector, and the aerospace sector, where there is a missing link on the exploitation of digital technologies, advanced technologies, and the sectors in themselves are quite unknown to each other, although they are highly connected because many aerospace and aeronautics industry uses textiles for many things. It's still a very weak link. So what we aim with Galactica is to strengthen the cross-sectorial approach, so overlap the value chains, digitalize the industries, exploit the smart industries benefit, and integrate the three sectors to make a more resilient Europe and towards higher added value products. So with that, Galactica is composed of 10 partners, 3 textile clusters, 3 aerospace clusters, 2 advanced manufacturing clusters, and 2 stakeholders from the innovation and startup ecosystem with an investor network and an incubator. And with that said, the Galactica project has a very strong approach on how to support European SMEs into moving towards higher value products. We have 3 million euros in financial support to European SMEs, and this slide is basically the core concept of what Galactica is for cultivation, exploration, implementation, and scale up of new value chains. For the cultivation stage, we are organizing a series of webinars. We will launch in the next months travel vouchers as long as COVID allows us to travel back, that will serve to participate in intercluster learning expeditions with workshops. We are also organizing matchmakings for each call for proposals. Today and tomorrow is the first Galactica matchmaking. We also have organized the first hackathon of Galactica. We will organize another one where we will have 50,000 euros in prizes for the winners. And all of you, we want to get into the Galactica community platform, which is the platform that we are using today for the matchmaking, which will remain alive for the rest of the project. So it's not that you generate a profile and next week it's over. You will be able to use it, and later on, my colleague will detail more on this. We have the core of the project, which is the 2 funding programs for SMEs and startups, the Pioneer Acceleration and Orbital projects, with a total budget for the whole project of 2.8 million euros. The beneficiaries will receive coaching and innovation support as well, besides the financial support, to explore, implement new value chains that at the end of the project we will organize investment forum so that you can pitch and present your innovations and try to leverage private capital as well and other funding opportunities to continue the scale up. So with this general picture of what is Galactica, I would like just to mention briefly the first hackathon results. In the first round, we received 24 submissions out of the 39 teams that registered. And based on that, we had the second round last week where we had awarded 4 prizes. So For company category, SME or startups, Fureo was the winner, Athena was the runner-up, with 25 and 10K in prizes. We also had students participating in teams where we had Fred as winner and Abeb as runner-up. So in total, we distributed 50,000 euros, and later on we will hear about one of the success stories of the hackathon. We have the call for proposals, which is open until May 19th, and my colleagues will detail more in detail the application procedures, the admissibility, and the different activities involved in the next presentation. We have also ongoing the series of 10 webinars that started on February and that will last until end of April. Today we are organizing the first matchmaking event together with this info session of the call for proposals. The next webinar is going to be on April 9th on how to convert bright ideas into business. So feel free to register in the galacticaproject.eu website. For the past events, you will be able to watch them over through the Galactica project website, and you can register for the upcoming ones that you see on the screen now to participate in the next ones. Lastly, we have also a call for experts open because all the proposals will be evaluated by external experts. So in case you are from a technological center and you want to be involved in Galactica as well, and you are not participating as a subcontractor, you can participate as an expert to evaluate it. And the call is open until April 16, so feel free to apply. And lastly, last but not least, the next Galactic activities that's going to happen on the second half of 2021. Some may be subject to COVID situation and how it evolves. We'll launch the travel vouchers so that you can participate in learning expeditions and workshops within Europe, so within the different ecosystems that made up Galactica. And also we will launch a second hackathon with another 50,000 euros in prizes. So stay tuned for the updates and follow us in the social media. And with that, I would like to pass the floor to my colleagues, Estelina from Coralia, who is going to introduce the call for proposals.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the info day for the Galactica call. Okay, let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, just a moment. Okay, you can see my screen now, right?
Yes, perfect.
Perfect, just a moment. Okay, today we're going to talk, let's see the agenda. We're going to talk about the background and what is the idea, the key ambition behind this project. We're going to talk about the funding scheme and the first call for proposals, the two different kinds of vouchers that we have, the one for the Pioneer Acceleration Voucher and the one for the orbital projects. The eligibility conditions for are you an eligible applicant? The eligible costs and what are the costs that that are funded by the project? The evaluation criteria and the scoring mechanism, the evaluation procedures. The open call for the experts evaluators. How we're going to monitor and how are we're going to get paid? The extra bonus that is for the project, the coaching hours for beneficiaries. And next, the timeline and some very important dates you need to have in mind for the specific project, the specific call. Of course, everything will be also in the website, and all the beneficiaries will be notified by us in any cases. At the end, we're going to have to talk about a very success case of a cross-sectoral value chain. So we're going to have a pitch from the winner of the hackathon, the Galactica hackathon, in the category of the SMEs. So Furejo company will join us. We'll also have slides of how to apply, what is the procedure in order to apply, and of course, as Josep said, a section for questions. Of course, you can also use the chat, and we will answer next. So here about the Galactica background and vision. Galactica project is it's an Horizon 2020 project. Its key ambition actually is to reshape and transform the industrial manufacturing value chains by using advanced manufacturing as a cornerstone for those different sectors. The aim is to support SMEs in creating new value chains in aerospace, textiles, and advanced manufacture. And the first point, at the starting point, those three sectors doesn't seem very related. But according to the surveys, and of course the Galactica survey that we conducted, they do have very similar needs. The textile and aerospace industry, they lack, as you can see, they have as we say from the Galactica survey, they mostly are known to each other, but they lack of this advanced manufacturing. The both of them, textile and aerospace industry, have small and medium-sized companies, and they have very highly specialized products. But they face very similar challenges. The need for product diversification, new potential applications, innovative business models. And this, if we combine them with the advanced manufacturers of these sectors, are seen as a solution to challenges. So this is what is the vision of the Galactica project, to support SMEs in the creation of these new cross-sectoral and cross-border value chains, in order to focus, to connect these three sectors together. Here in the Galactica funding scheme, we actually have 2.8 million euros as a total budget for the calls. The Galactica will launch 2 calls for proposal in order to support SME. The first call is here, is open. It launched in 16th of March, will be open until 19th of May. And we will have two voucher schemes, the Pioneer Acceleration, which is for smaller projects, and the Orbital Project Voucher, which is for bigger, more mature projects. And in this case, as we will say again after, SME needs to be in a consortium scheme. So the call is open. 1.2 million budget is open to apply. The two funding schemes. So there are 2 different vouchers. First is the Pioneer Acceleration Voucher. It has a small differentiators. This is for applicants. Which are the applicants? Minimum, it could be 1 SME from one of those eligible sectors: aerospace, textile, and advanced manufacture, which the project idea, it will connect those sectors. The scope of this voucher is to explore new business models and to develop a MVP, a minimum viable project, to connect 2 or more of those sectors. The duration of this project, the implementation of this project will be maximum 4 months. And the maximum grant per voucher is 20,000 per project. We expected 20 projects in the first call, and the deadline for both Pioneer Voucher and Orbital Project Voucher will be 19th of May. The Orbital Project Voucher, this has a difference. We need as many to be in a consortium, so we need applicants that will be minimum 2 SME from 2 different sectors. The scope is the implementation of functional prototypes and demonstration for new cross-sectoral value chains. Could also connect those sectors. The duration of the implementation of the project will be much larger, a 6-month project, and the maximum grant per project is 100,000 with a maximum 58,000 per SME. So here we're talking about a consortium. And the first call total budget, it's 8,000 euros. So what are the eligibility conditions? So you need to check first before you decide to apply. You need to check if you are an eligible applicant. First of all, we want applicants to be a SME in accordance with the SME definition of the European Union. I'm sure you're all familiar with this. If you're not, in the call, we have the links in order to understand what exactly are the numbers, so to be defined as a SME. So please check this if you're not sure. In general, SME is to the staff headcount to be less than 250 persons, less than that, the turnover less than 5 million, and the balance sheet total less than 43. If you are over that, then you're a large company, not a SME. And also an eligibility condition is that your SME is established or has a branch office in one of the 27 EU member states or in the UK. Please make sure to check this cross-border value chain. If you are a linked SME from other countries, this is not actually cross-border value chain. Of course, all the application must be written in English. And as we mentioned before, for pioneer vouchers, the SME can apply alone or in a consortium. And for the orbital vouchers, we want consortia or at least 2 SME from different sectors. SME applied to the call as a consortium should fill 1 proposal. And the maximum, note that the maximum amount to be granted per SME for Galactica project shall not exceed 60,000. So, application, as we will say, must be submitted through the web-based system, not through emails or anything else, through the system, which is very, very easy. Okay, and I think I will pass here to Macarena. Just a moment, let me stop sharing.
Can you continue sharing, Elena?
Okay, I just stop. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry. Okay. Okay, can you see it? Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone, and monitoring and reporting aspects, also to payment aspects, and finally we will give an overview of other resources about coaching that you will receive as a beneficiary. So going into the point of eligible costs. So only the costs that have been generating during the lifetime of the project will be funded. And well, the type of costs that we will be funding are the typical ones on research and development projects, meaning internal costs provided by SMEs that are performing the action. This includes both direct staff costs, but also other direct costs, such as travel costs or equipment or consumables. And also, of course, the indirect costs, which will be considered a flat rate of 25% of the direct costs. The subcontracting costs are also eligible. So SMEs applying can also subcontract other expert services, such as the ones provided by a research technology organization or universities or research institutes, and also large companies. Of course, subcontracting may only cover a limited part of the action, and in all cases, it should be properly justified in the proposal. Please, Elena.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you. Now, regarding the evaluation criteria and the scoring mechanism, so all the eligible proposals will be evaluated by independent experts, as Giuseppe mentioned initially, and they will be ranked according to 3 different criteria. Excellence, which will account for 30% of the weight of the total evaluation. Implementation, which will account for 30% also, and impact, which will account for 40% of the scoring. So for each evaluation criteria, we have defined different sub-criteria, as you can see in the table at the right-hand side. Each sub-criteria is in accordance with the sections that you will be completing in the application form. There will be a different score for each one of the sub-criteria that will be rated between 1 and 5 points. And each one of the sub-criteria will have a different weighted score, as you can also see in this table. In order to be invited as to the ranking list for a project, you will have to go over the individual threshold of 3 for each the criteria, and also you have to go overall the total threshold of 70 points over the 100 points in total. Also, it's important to remember here that Galactica is looking for cross-border value chains, also, although it's not compulsory, but it will be very well evaluated, and it will be given 5% extra points out of the total scoring. Yes, please, Telina. And now regarding the evaluation procedures, so once the open call is closed on the 19th of May, the Galactica partners will undergo with an eligibility check, just to be sure that all the proposals accomplish with all the eligibility criteria. For those who accomplish, they will go to the next phase, as you will see here in the slide, which is the remote evaluation by external experts. All external experts will be working in their individual reports, will be providing their scores individually, and as the result of this, we will receive at the Galactica committee a preliminary ranking list with all the proposals that have a score above the threshold in all the criteria. So this should happen between the end of May and end of June. And during the month of June, the Galactica evaluation committee will revise the preliminary ranking list and will look for any type of inconsistencies in the individual reports, and will be also looking at equal rating cases. And as a conclusion of this revision, the final ranking list will be ready for publication, and all applicants will be informed about the results. This should happen in the month of July this year. Please, Elena. So just a quick reminder here about the open call for experts evaluators. Giuseppe already mentioned that the open call is published and it's open up to the 16th of April. So we encourage you, if you have a profile with at least 5 years of experience in some of the sectors of the project, we encourage you to apply. The experts can be from all 27 EU countries or also UK. And well, the evaluators will be asked to declare the potential conflict of interest for a specific voucher scheme. So if you are participating, for example, as a subcontractor in an orbital proposal, you could still evaluate Galactica, but only for pioneer proposals and vice versa. So please apply by the 16th of April in this link. Yes. So once the project starts, once you've been notified that your project is successful, you will be assigned a technical reviewer, which is from the Galactica consortium. And here he will be or she will be the contact point in order to check for the overall report or the overall performance of the project. You will be asked to provide a progress report and all the deliverables. And that this has to be submitted 1 month after the end of the project. And well, the technical reviewer will be evaluating and assessing the coherence of the money spent with the achieved results. So the justification and the reporting here will be in terms of technical achievements. And we will not ask for a justification of the costs of the budget spent. Okay, thank you, Elena. Yes, so regarding the payment, once you are, well, you have been able to sign the contract signature, you will receive a pre-financing of the 50% of the total amount. So for Pioneer Acceleration, it is 20K lump sum, and for orbital projects is 100K lump sum. So the first pre-financing will be 50% of this amount, and the final pre-financing after the completion of the overall assessment of the progress performance, you will receive the pending 50% of the payment. And another important point here is that all payments will be made to each one of the SMEs participating in the consortium based on their budget. And well, here we need to remind that all beneficiaries have to provide with the information to the European institutions in case there are later controls or audits of the costs. Okay. So for all beneficiaries, for Pioneer beneficiaries, there is 20 hours of coaching provided by the consortium in different aspects in order to help you to improve the business, the new business and the new value chain. So there will be support in terms of market research, financial planning, business modeling, pitch perfecting, IP aspects, and any type of technology transfer related issues. And for orbital project beneficiaries, there will be a 50 hours coaching provided by the consortium in project management methodologies, prototyping and innovation management, growth strategies, and financial and funding strategies. So this support will also continue once the project is finished in the form of other type of coaching in order to help the consortium to scale up the project, meaning leverage funding with other sources or other financing, funding, and capital raising strategies that are relevant for a specific project. And finally, to wrap up, some key days that we all have to keep in mind. So the opening date, it's already gone. We opened the call last week on the 16th of March. The closing date for the submission of both Pioneer and Orbital is the 19th of May at 17 hours Central European Summer Time. And the evaluation period will take place from May to June this year. The funded proposals will be notified on July this year, and contract signature is expected to happen during July and August in order to start the projects on the 1st of September, during the month of September. So I think I will give the floor now to Giuseppe again, as he will be presenting the example of the success case of a cross-sectoral value chain.
Yes. So
thank you.
Thank you very much for the really nice presentation of the first call for proposals. I would call Prathana from Fureo to join us and explain us her experience and the idea developed during the first hackathon of Galactica as the winner of the SME category.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello. I hope you
Hello.
can see me.
Yes. Perfect.
Great. I've prepared a very just a few slides to share. Let me see here. Yeah. I hope you can see this.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Thank you so much, Josep. Hi, everyone. I'm Prathna. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Fureo, which is a deep tech startup incubating at Isabik in Sweden. And we are very happy to be here today. And we'd like to start by thanking Galactica for our hackathon prize. It's an honor, and it will help us in taking our project and work forward. With respect to Galactica project's ambition to increase cross-sectoral innovation between textiles, aerospace, and advanced manufacturing, our project is well aligned with this goal. Fureo brings advanced 3D textile preforming technology to develop near-net shape 3D textiles for composite materials to meet the needs of the aerospace and other industries. The shift that we are witnessing now in the space industry from institutional to commercial players has completely changed the game. And among other things, the industry is seeking lightweight structures and parts to reduce costs, to increase payload and enlarge scope of their missions. Because it is expensive to launch to space, and it costs anywhere between 20,000 to 50,000 euros to launch 1 kilo to orbit. So to address this problem, the aerospace industry is seeking lightweight and multifunctional materials. And one thing that is missing is a composite material solution that can take complex 3-directional loading in order to replace many small, complexly loaded metallic parts. And at Fureo, we are developing a 3D reinforced composite material called the Noobed 3D fabric reinforced composite material that can take multi-directional loading, and it can serve as a lightweight alternative for metal parts in many load-bearing components. So for example, starting with carbon or other fibers, depending on the application needs, a block of Noob 3D fabric can be produced with fibers in the X, Y, and Z directions. And once this is injected with an epoxy, it becomes a composite material from which a variety of components like inserts, brackets, and other parts can be easily machined out. We have gained material validation from the motorsport industry, and moving forward, our aim is to advance aerospace TRL to reach MVP and subsequently test and validate the material. And we are interested in engaging with potential customers and industry partners for pilot projects. And we're also interested in engaging with potential investors. I'd just like to conclude with some key takeaways from our hackathon experience. First and foremost, it's been a very professionally conducted event and a very valuable learning experience for us. So a big thanks to the organizers for that. The webinars and workshops have provided us with key insights and learnings that we will continue to apply beyond the hackathon. And the feedback from industry experts and mentors has been very valuable to further polish our project plan. And we also appreciate that the way that the Galactica has structured the project, meaning that hackathon is just the starting point of the Galactica project, and the ongoing series of webinars and upcoming activities like matchmaking and the call for proposals. It will allow us to take action on our hackathon project and advance our work. And it feels like a community of like-minded people is evolving to drive this cross-sectoral innovation. So it's been a very wonderful experience, and we really look forward to moving forward in the whole scheme of things. So a big thanks to Galactica again, and if anyone has any questions, feel free to email me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pratna. It has been a really nice presentation, and it's great to see that really great projects participating in the hackathon. And as you mentioned, this is just the beginning for the whole Galactica journey.
Thank you so much.
Yes, and thank you for accepting the invitation to participate here today with that short notice since Friday. So
yeah, no worries.
Yes.
Happy to.
Okay. So we are going to continue with the next part of the session, which is the hands-on demonstration on how the platform will work for submission. So let me share my screen. As mentioned, all the proposals will need to be submitted through the Galactica submission platform, which is called galacticaproject.eu, where you can register here in case you are not registered yet, and then you can easily log in into your application section. So here you will see this landing page, and you can start with Start Application, selecting the call you're applying to. So right now we have 3 calls open: the call for evaluators, the orbital projects, and the Pioneer Acceleration. You can simply click on the one that you have interest on. So for instance, orbital projects, set the acronym and confirm, and then you will see here the different tabs that appear once you select the application, and you'll be able to fill in the different information. You can download the call guidelines from here. You can take a look at the website. In case you have any technical question, you have the email. Here you will be able to fill in all the information, checking the different aspects on the eligibility criteria, the consortium in case you have it. If not, just put the single company in case of Pioneer Acceleration. In case you have other parties involved, like subcontractors, we will ask you to fill them in this section. You can add rows as needed or delete them. So it's really user-friendly. You'll have a section for adding the summary, uploading the project proposal, the section A to D, which is available in here, and also to upload the video pitch that should not be longer than 5 minutes. You will also need to upload the budget file in Excel, where you can find the template in here. And then you will have some questions on gender equality and compliance and declarations for the GDPR, the intellectual property, confidentiality, financial stability, other grants, and ethics like dual use. You can say the proposal is going to be saved. You can save and close, save, preview the application, submit the application. You will be able to modify the application until the deadline. once after the deadline, the submission platform will close automatically, so you will not be able to edit it anymore, but you can submit and make resubmissions as needed. So only the last submitted version will be evaluated. So you can start a proposal, submit it, edit, submit it again, and we will only consider the last one. So please, so you can edit and continue working on it during the next couple of months till the deadline, which is May 19. And with that said, I think we are gonna move on to the Q&A section. So I will call Estelina and Macarena. I have some questions for you that I have seen in the chat. So the first question that we received is whether two SMEs can come from one eligible country, or do they have to be from two different countries?
Okay. In order to be eligible, in a consortium, if you actually apply for the orbital project, it's not mandatory, but we positive evaluate if you are from two different countries. Of course, the eligible countries are the 27 EU 27 or the UK. So of course it's not mandatory, but it would be positively evaluated.
Okay. The next question we have in the chat is, what do you mean when you say two different sectors, textile and aerospace, or it can be other sectors like TICs or others?
Yes, I can respond to that. Yes, two different sectors. We mean from the three sectors that are targeted in Galactica, meaning textile, aerospace, and also advanced manufacturing. So within advanced manufacturing, IT projects will be eligible. So the recommendation here is if you have a project idea, to talk to the local partners. I think Patricio from Robimatica, the local partners will be us, CTA. So we will be happy to talk in more detail about the eligibility.
Yes. Okay. The next question, I think it was related on the subcontracting. What do you mean limited part? Is there a percentage?
Okay, I can answer that. We do not have a specific limitation, but so you can subcontract, as we say on the call, if you say innovation actors, but you have to justify exactly so the evaluator could see what exactly the subcontractor is doing, what is his part on the project. So there's not a specific limit, but please justify exactly.
Okay. The next question is about the coaching services for applicant SMEs. So the question is whether there is a coaching service for applicants, meaning to write project proposals within the Galactica project.
Yes, well, there is no specific support in the writing of project support proposals, but the Galactica Consortium is, of course, available to help you to fulfill the application and to ensure that you do it, that your application fits with the Galactica terms. And there are also other coaching services that we can provide, which, for instance, are the help in the partner search. So we are a cluster network, and we should be helping also on that. So yes, all partners should be available also to help for the preparation of the proposals, but not specifically in project writing.
Okay. So the next question is about the financial cost. And the question is, do the general H2020 rules apply for financial cost in Galactica? So for the funded projects?
Yes, I can respond to that. Yes, it's exactly Horizon 2020 financial rules that apply in our project.
Okay. I see some questions for Pradna that has already responded. And the next question I see is about the documents for the application. Which are the mandatory documents to be submitted with application?
The mandatory documents to be submitted, you have to apply to the platform. So in order to fulfill the technical part, and of course the pitch. You have to upload the pitch for each voucher, either for Orbiter or for Pioneer voucher. Other kind of documents, such as financial capacity and stuff, will be asked for the selected ones, not in this stage.
Okay, thanks. And I see one more question. Is it possible to apply first to a Pioneer project and then, after successful completion, transition to orbital project in the next call for proposals?
Yes, for sure. It very much this question is very relevant because it very much fits with the Galactica structure and objective, which is to first help in the exploration of new value chains, and then help in the completion or in the implementation of demonstrators within the orbital project. So the only limitation would be the 60K financial maximum limit, which you have to take into account when preparing your budget for both Pioneer and orbital projects.
Yes, and probably here I would like to remark that the 60K, it accounts for the money received from the call for proposals and the future travel vouchers, but it's excluding the hackathon prices. So in case you participated in the hackathon, that amount it's not counting towards the limit, just as a clarification. I see another question. Is it possible to apply both for a Pioneer and then in a consortium with an orbital project at the same time?
Yes, it is possible. You can apply for both voucher, but you have to note that this is specific, as Macarena mentioned before, that there is the limit of 60K per SME. So we cannot exceed that.
Yeah, maybe you could clarify in this case whether if two proposals are submitted at the same time, what happens if the total amount requested is over 60K? To clarify.
Okay. If we are more than if two proposals apply and there are two positive evaluated. So we cannot only that we will check. We will have only the proposal that has the highest score. So because this is the limit of the 60K. So if you go for more than 60K per SME and they're both very well evaluated, we cannot have both. So will be selected only the one which has received the high score.
Okay. I see another question on when the second call will be open.
Yes, January 22. Yeah, next year.
And then another question that I see on the chat is which is the maximum duration of the video pitch?
Well, we didn't establish a minimum or maximum duration, but
maximum, yes.
It's okay. So it should be 5 minutes maximum, right?
Yes, a short one. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, not very long one.
While there is no limit, there is no minimum, we'll probably recommend you to use the 5 minutes time slot that you have to present it. So, yes. Is there any more questions? You can still make some in the chat.
Hi, I have a few questions. Can I speak about it in the video?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm a technology manager from Renotech, Finland. My name is Gaurav Das. So I have a few questions regarding this call. The first one is, I am looking into this Pioneer acceleration call, and how does the consortium look like in this case? I just saw that it could be one or more SME, but what you are really looking into, how that complementarity can look could be, shown. I mean, what is minimum and what is the best?
Okay, I could answer for the Pioneer voucher, which is actually the scope is for the smaller projects. We are looking for one or more SMEs. You can apply only alone and not as a consortium. It's not mandatory for the Pioneer to have a consortium. And also the limit, the budget per project is 20,000 per project. So you should evaluate according to your needs, your scope, and your partners, what it suits you best, what your project suits you best. But for Pioneer, it's not necessary to have a consortium, to be in a consortium. This is only for Orbital.
Yeah.
You can, for Pioneer, you can apply alone, as the SME alone.
Yeah, and when we talk about this consortium in the Pioneer, I mean, even if I select another partner, for instance, for something, then does the partner has to be like a subcontractor, or how does that work?
The partner, it could be also in a consortium, or it could be as a subcontractor, whatever it suits you best, whatever is according to your needs. Yes. Okay. For example, if a university or a large company and you want them into the project, it should be as subcontractors.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Next is, what are the TRL levels for this Pioneer?
Sorry, the clear?
TRL level, yeah. The EU TRL level, technology readiness
level.
Okay,
TRL, okay. We do not have a specific TRL required. So the project will be evaluated according to the scope of the voucher by the evaluators, but we do not have a specific required.
Okay. Next is the most important question. In your call, they talk about technical textiles. Now, technical textile is a very broad term, so it can involve construction textiles. It can involve from many different areas. So, I mean, I saw textiles. I also saw technical textiles. So are you looking for companies who make, I don't know, cloth, yarn, things like that, or you're also looking to specialize technical textiles, which also includes this construction textiles and matting materials, things like that?
Okay, I can answer it. Whoever wants to add something. We don't. We write the call and we have some indicative ideas. The scope is to have this cross-sectorial in order to combine these 2 or 3 sectors. I cannot answer this because I don't know your project, your idea, and I'm not an evaluator. So the evaluator could see if those sectors are actually connected together. I don't know if you want Josep or Macarena add something on that.
Yeah, well, I would say that the scope of the call overall is quite broad. So the recommendation again is to talk to the local points and to see the specific details on your topic.
Yeah, actually, I sent an email regarding this few days ago to the calls at Galactica, but I haven't received anything. So if someone can please look into it, because I don't want to write a whole proposal and spend time. Yes. I mean, if it doesn't fit or if it fits, because these questions are there. Okay, that is That is all I have. Thank you everyone for your time. Yeah, I would exit the chat.
Okay, thank you. We have another last question on the chat on how many applicants do we expect. So this one is difficult.
This is a tricky question. Of course, we have our scenarios, but we can't say a number in detail. But we are expecting like 3 times more of the projects of the applications that we will be able to fund. That this is one of our scenarios.
But yeah, that will depend on all of you that apply. So
yeah,
it's something that we do not have the answer yet, and we will publish it once we have close the call. So thank you very much for the Q&A session. I will pass the floor to Maria Joao for a quick introduction of the Galactica community. That's going to be the next stages on the matchmaking platform that you have been using for today as well.
Thank you very much.
Yes, hello. Good morning. I think you can see my screen.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, perfect.
Okay, perfect. So just a very quick overview. We are a little behind schedule. So on the matchmaking, you have, this is the front page. Then you can, this will be our Galactica community, although here it says 24 and 25 March. As Joseph already mentioned, this platform will be available throughout the entire duration of the project. So for the entire 24 months that are left, then you can see here all the participants in the platform. Now we have 144 participants registered. You can try to search them by name, or you can, for example, see, I want someone from Spain that I need an RTO to help me with something. And an RTO that is from the aerospace sector, for example. And here we have Eduardo Ferreira, that it was our speaker from yesterday webinar. So this is one of the ways you can try to find the best people to suit your needs in developing your proposals. You can also find by organization instead of by persons. So the other thing that you can do is to schedule some meetings. For example, these are the meetings I've already have in place. I will try to just try to have here, for example, an example to request a meeting with Joseph Casamada. We have been, you have been seeing him. You see here, this is the calendar where he's available from today and tomorrow. The ones that are in gray is already booked. In white is available. This is for today and tomorrow. But as we said, this platform will be available for a long time, so you can pick a different time. For example, if I want to talk with him on April 8 at 10:45, I will ask him something and send him a request. So this platform will be available for your, so you can have and establish B2B meetings for the whole duration and to try to establish new partnerships within this project. How can we, if you haven't booked, when you registered, you didn't click the B2B meetings and you want to change that, you go to meetings on your platform, then you go to availability, and here you can change to available. You can click or unclick the options. So if when you registered, you didn't think you would be needing the B2B meetings, and now you think it will be a nice tool, you can come here and click it to the 3 slots that can be valid. Please also check your time zone to see if you are on the correct one, because this allows you to align all your calendars with the other people. Just as a final remark, you can increase your visibility in this platform with a good profile and with a good virtual stand that you can here you can advertise your products, your partnerships, your requests. We have at this moment 101 opportunities in this marketplace. We think it's important to try to advertise here. I will give you here for an example here. We have our colleague Enrico Venturini from NTT. It's one of the partners of the project. As you can see, he has here a very well done marketplace. He has partnerships. He has the services that NTT provides, and he has the some products, of course, that he can always provide. So as you can see, this is an interesting platform for you to show your services, your products, your solutions, what you are trying to find within also these projects. So in a very, very quick overview, because we are 2 minutes late, this is the platform. If you have any questions, feel free to get in touch with us and we will try to clarify this. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the overview of the platform and the futures that it will have. And with that said, I would like to thank you all for joining this Info Day. I wish you nice matchmaking during the next hours, the ones that you have booked B2B meetings. Please check your inbox. Maybe you have some requests that are unanswered, and we hope that you can find partners and discuss the different opportunities, and we look forward for your applications in the first call for proposals, and we look forward to seeing you in the next webinars of Galactica. So with that said, thank you very much, and thank you all for participating.
Thank you.
Thank you.